A better view for Gordon. Gordon was grumpy. Everywhere he went he would moan about this or that. All the engines were annoyed with him. "You should be left in the sheds to rot," said James to him whilst Gordon was on the turntable by the sheds. "What do you know about things, James? You're just a small red engine with ideas above your station. We big engines complain because we know about everything," replied Gordon grandly. "Absolute rot. You'd be nothing without us," said James huffily, and he sped away to his work, leaving Gordon fuming. "One day I'll show him just what a big engine can really do," he muttered to himself. But Percy heard him. "What can a big engine really do, Gordon?" he asked. "Not speak to little green engines for a start," he snorted, and chuffered away. "Never mind, Percy," said his driver kindly. "Gordon's due to have his pipes cleaned and a general servicing soon. Maybe then he will be of a better nature," he added. At the big station, Gordon was waiting to take the express train. It was a non-stop train, one of Gordon's favorites. He was preparing to leave when the fat controller spoke to him. "Gordon, I'm opening a new main line station soon. The engineers want to test things out with a big engine, so you will stop there for a while. It will only take 15 minutes out of your journey. Perhaps you will enjoy trying to make up that time by going extra fast," he added tactfully. "I'd rather not, sir, if you don't mind. This run is important. Why not send Henry? He likes dawdling in sidings, tunnels, and stations," Gordon replied rudely. "You will do as you're told, or it's the sheds for you," came the blunt reply. Gordon puffed huffily out of the station. "A stopping, I ask you. This railway is going to pot," he snorted. "Behave, Gordon. Remember, we can do a speed run afterwards," said his driver, who knew Gordon's moods only too well. Despite burning the finest coal, Gordon didn't feel good. No matter how much effort he put into his journeying, he just didn't seem to reach his flying speed. His driver and fireman noticed this too. "It's high time Gordon had his big service," said his fireman. "It's a shame to burn this fine coal when he isn't running well." His driver agreed. "We'll just go as fast as we should in his condition, and that's that. I'll tell the fat controller about things tonight," replied his driver. "Pah! I'm the express. There is nothing to stop me going as fast as I want to go, and that's that as far as I'm concerned," he muttered to himself. Soon they approached the junction leading to the new station. The signalman switched the points and put the signals to approach with caution. The new station was a two-tier affair. The upper part was the main station for passengers, and the lower part was given to sidings, depots, and general transport. Despite Gordon's mood, he did approach with caution. The promise of going flat out afterwards was really his only reason for obeying. He drew into the new station. Everything looked ultra-modern, even the buffers. Just ahead of the buffers was a sloping concrete ramp, then a plain brick wall. "What a boring view," Gordon grumbled. "Fine express engines like me should have a panoramic view, where I can see people and people can see me," he continued. "Oh, stop your moaning, Gordon. Perhaps there is a view somewhere, but as this is just a trial run, it's probably temporary," said his driver. Gordon let off steam and sulked. He couldn't see the clock or anything. He was bored. At last his fireman spoke to him. "We're all set to go. Show them all what you can do, but careful now," he said. Gordon shunted out of the station. He didn't like shunting. If his tender was light, then it often derailed itself, but all went well. The inspectors and engineers were most impressed. "Gordon shall be our grand opening engine," they said. As soon as he was back on the main line, he began to pick up speed. "Now I'll show them all just how grand I really am," and he sped along. Little did he know that his inside tubes were misbehaving. He was just going too fast. No matter what his driver did, he just couldn't reduce Gordon's speed. Suddenly, the whole cab was filled with steam. Steam also gooshed out through Gordon's wheels. "What's happening?" he exclaimed as his speed reduced rapidly. Then he stopped altogether. "If we hadn't stopped at that new station, this might not have happened," said his driver angrily. Gordon was fuming. and he was even more annoyed when James appeared. He buffered up behind Gordon's coaches and pushed them and Gordon to a siding. Gordon was left alone, and James took the express. "So much about big engines knowing all about everything. You just got too puffed up in your boiler, and it serves you right," chortled James. Gordon said nothing. Then Henry arrived to take him to the works. "Now who's idling in sidings?" said Henry. "Say nothing, Henry, and I'll be your friend for life. Us big engines should stick together, you know," replied Gordon. "Yes, Gordon," said Henry, smiling to himself, and they set off. Despite Gordon's ill humor and rudeness, the other engines missed him when he was away, so when he returned they gave him a fine welcome. "We've missed you, Gordon," they said. "I feel much better. I am now working perfectly. I'm quite clearly the finest engine on this island, and probably in the world," he said grandly. The other engines looked to each other and smiled knowingly, but said nothing. Later, the Fat Controller spoke to him. "My, Gordon, you do look splendid. How do you feel?" he asked. "Very fit and raring to go, sir," he replied. "I am so pleased to hear that. I have a very special duty for you to perform for me," said the Fat Controller. "Oh, and what might that be?" Gordon asked pompously. "You are to be the special engine to attend the grand opening of my new station. It's very important that you be there," he replied. "I really don't like that station, sir. There's no aspect to it, no panoramic view for us engines when we park at platforms. Just a boring old wall," Gordon said rudely. The Fat Controller was quite taken aback. "You will do as I say," he said sternly. "The opening is this afternoon. I shall travel in your cab to make sure you do not misbehave." And with that he left. "Some day you'll learn to keep your mouth closed and give your brain a chance. The Fat Controller likes you, so you shouldn't be so rude to him," scolded his driver. Gordon felt ashamed. Some children were nearby, and had heard everything. "Naughty, naughty Gordon," they teased, which made Gordon feel even worse. So when the Fat Controller arrived in his special boiler suite, Gordon apologized. "That's all right, Gordon. We all have our off days, you more than most." And he laughed. "Now be a good engine and show me just what you can do," he concluded. "Yes, sir," said Gordon happily, and off they went. Gordon sped along. Lots of people gathered to wave to him, and he felt very grand indeed. Soon they approached the junction. Ahead lay the station, finely decorated for the grand opening. Then Gordon felt something go wrong. He wasn't slowing up. "Apply my brakes," he yelled. But as hard as his driver tried, he couldn't apply them. "They're jammed," he said earnestly. The Fat Controller tried to help, but to no avail. The driver reduced steam power, but Gordon was still going too fast and approached the platform at speed. He sped past startled officials and then closed his eyes. He just knew what lay ahead. He hit the buffers, which instantly gave way under his weight and speed. Gordon shot up the concrete ramp and was launched through the brick wall where he came to rest. When he opened his eyes, he let out a pitiful cry, for he was high in the air, overlooking the town and a street. Luckily, the street was deserted. Everyone had gathered in the station for the grand opening. "Help! Help!" called Gordon, but there was nothing anyone could do. He was there for quite a time as well. It took the rest of the day and the whole night to get him back onto the rails. His front was badly damaged, so he had to be placed on a low loader. The Fat Controller, along with his driver and fireman, came to see him. The Fat Controller had a black eye and his fireman had a broken arm, but his driver escaped unscathed. The Fat Controller spoke to him. "Well, Gordon, I knew you wanted a panoramic view from the platform, but don't you think you could have gone about it in a slightly gentler fashion?" And they all laughed. Gordon said nothing. He too was sporting a black eye, and he wasn't feeling too good about things. His driver spoke to him. "It wasn't your fault, Gordon. It was something they did at the works that made your brakes faulty. You'll be up and running again soon, and boy, are we going to break some speed records then," he said kindly. Gordon managed a weak smile, but said nothing. Then he was taken away to the works to be mended. The Fat Controller decided that Gordon's panoramic view should be kept, so a big window was built into the wall, aptly named Gordon's Point of View, and there's also a photograph close by to show people what happened on that grand opening day. The end.